A local nonprofit was granted more than $1 million to focus on children's mental health. Chase Biefeld explains where the money's going and why families in East Tennessee need it.
East Tennessee Children's Hospital says that visits to their emergency room from children involving anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts have grown 60% since 2020. They've had over 1,500 of these types of visits in the last year. To combat this growing mental health crisis in children, the McNabb Center was awarded $1.1 million from the state. They'll be deploying crisis response teams in East Tennessee Children's Hospital, juvenile detention facilities, and schools in 16 counties in East Tennessee.
So each team will look a little differently. And that's because each environment has its own particular needs.
In East Tennessee Children's Hospital, the crisis response team will be embedded in the emergency department to stabilize and assess a child's need in the midst of their crisis. The team will include a master's level clinician to help with assessments, a psychiatrist to provide medication, and a peer support specialist.
This individual will be able to help with what we would consider discharge planning and connecting to specialized resources. So those families don't have to spend an exaggerated time within the ED, and they can go home and be together.
In the juvenile detention centers, crisis response teams will work directly with the child and their family to provide ongoing therapy, case management services, resource connection, and something new: on-site medication management.
So when we have a kid that might be on a crisis watch or is just not doing very well and needs to be a little more stabilized, either through medication management or an assessment to see what other types of resources we can bring into that particular environment.
In schools, crisis response teams will be in place to prevent tragedy related to community violence and suicide, or debrief students and staff when one of these tragic events does happen.
This team would help take over the situation, alleviate the school staff, and being able to go back to what they really need to be doing, and that's taking care of the rest of the student population and or staff.
The $1.1 million grant from the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services will be a recurring annual fund and will benefit 16 counties here in East Tennessee. Back to you.
Chase, thank you. The McNabb Center also offers a family walk-in center to help avoid children's psychiatric hospitalizations. Families can access this service at 5645 Merchant Center Boulevard. That's off I-75 in Powell. Knoxville